Okay, hello, welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2 as we continue our playthrough of Faction Wars. And just a bit of context for those of you who aren't watching these as they come out. It has been over a month since the previous episode, which is mostly because I have been traveling around Southeast Asia. So everything's okay for those of you who are wondering. There's nothing that's gone wrong. I've just been very busy, and there are other things going on as well, but everything's completely fine. What I do remember is I did raise the question of whether we should be using Dimension Door and Town Portal and spells like that, and I think there was a bit of a split of opinion. I think the consensus was it's okay to use them, but there were a few people who really wanted to see things play out a bit more organically. So I think on balance, my take is we're going to allow ourselves to use these spells, but only under certain conditions. So one of those conditions is we need to wipe out UAC, and the second condition is we need to wipe out, I think this guy's Synoptic, I can't remember, that's one of the things I forgot. I think that's Synoptic, and possibly also Yokozun. If we can wipe out those three, actually I guess this guy's not so tough. So yeah, Synoptic and UAC. If we can wipe those two out, I think that's officially the point in the map where we can say we've broken the last of the major resistance of our opponents. And I think that's the point where it makes sense to start using those spells without feeling guilty about it. Has also been pointed out that I have been using some arguably broken spells like Summon Elemental, of course, but I kind of feel like that's a level below in terms of brokenness. And if we hadn't been doing that, this would have been a much longer map. We would have just gradually lost a lot of this territory to red, and it would have dragged things out. So yeah, I think that's a bit of a necessary evil. So Dimitri is going to be the first hero we move. We have a few choices here. We can go east to try and get away from UAC that way if we want to. That takes us towards these lands where we are potentially being threatened by Jezebel. If we go to the west instead, we could grab these two artifacts just for the sake of having them. Then we almost certainly do get chased down by UAC and caught. Or we can go to the southwest instead. We do have expert pathfinding, we do have expert logistics, we've got a good amount of movement points, already been to the Xanadu. That, I think, is winning, although there's not really too much we can achieve by going southwest. I guess we could start threatening in this direction, but I'm not sure that's actually going to work. Still, I feel like that's the best option we have, so we're just going to move down in that direction, pick up a couple of nomads, move towards this. Can't quite reach, but hopefully we're far enough away that UAC can't reach us. So big thing we need to do, I think, is to make sure we can actually hold him off. So he's pretty tough. Of course, he's been a major threat in the past, but what's her name? Pandora? Pandora should be strong enough to hold him off. She's got pretty good stats, lots of spell points. What we do need to do, I think, is invest in this and just pick up a good number of these. So 5 for now is a start. It's not really going to be enough. I think we're good to trade until we have maybe 50 left of each resource. So we've got a lot of room. So 16 more. We can afford one more. Okay, this is a problem because, well, there are other threats. And yeah, like I said, I feel like we don't need this many resources, so let's trade most of our ore and most of our wood. Don't need to be this precise, but it's fine. Brings us up to 23,000. We can go up to 8 Titans. That should be enough, although 53 Ogre-Lords, pretty threatening as well. Other things we could pick up. There's not really too much. We also have this situation. So Savan here does have a spellbook, doesn't have great artifacts, doesn't have great stats, but potentially a choice to attack deep. And Ice Creamer. Ice Creamer being pretty weak. There's the Armada base there, appropriately named given their number of ships. Also probably worth mentioning, I did spot this between the previous episode and now, the tavern, with several legions of peasants. So this is one of those weird things about custom-built maps. If Darth Vader had made it to this before we found him, that probably would have just been game over. He would have had a ridiculous number of skeletons, would have completely ended the game, but fortunately that didn't happen. Okay, so we're going to go back to this guy, we're going to go into the town, we're going to finally pick up a spell book before I forget. Don't think we have great knowledge. Basic wisdom even. Yeah, so basic wisdom gives us fireball, but we're missing out on things like mass shield, earth elemental. I guess it's not too bad. Okay, do we pick up the units? And could we take on Yokusen if we could? If we go to the northwest, we're moving in the same direction as Dimitri. So we might not need to do that, although it's not much of a downside. I think we do move in that direction on the understanding we can come back if we need to. This is a lot of gold to spend, we probably don't need to, let's not bother. Get some spell power. Move across. And we'll move up to this for next turn. Okay, so this guy next, I think he does need a little bit more. We also need to actually, I think, build up this town to defend itself. So it's got 5 war trolls. Jezebel has 55 spell points. I think if we just go for a few more war trolls, 3,500 worth of orc chiefs. If we split these into 4 different stacks, that's potentially better for having a stronger stack of war trolls, but HP regeneration is probably worth hanging on to because most of these stacks can't kill off 1 war troll in 1 turn. So that should keep us alive. Then if we go back to this, I think we go for 3 more of these. Do we trade even more? It's tempting, but we do also of course have the option of continuing to upgrade mage guilds. Where would we do that? So this one's already pretty built up. This one I seem to remember is also pretty built up. So we got Resurrect. Very close to level 5. It's not really a priority, particularly because nobody's too nearby. But that might be a good place to spend some gold. Okay, I think we can at least trade 40 sulfur. Then let's go ahead and buy these. Buy the power liches. And probably leave the rest behind. So is this strong enough to take on the opponents? We need at least 1 more turn to get to the boat. Okay, let's go for stables. Don't think that brings us close enough. Yep. Okay, let's go for this instead. Already been to this. If we go south, we can get some more sulfur from there. That might be a good middle ground. Plus, if Jezebel does somehow beat us... yeah, I think that can work. Okay, so 8 titans, is that enough to hold off UAC with his 100 spell points, his slightly better stats? We probably do want more. Let's see what we can do with this guy too. So we go to this. Not yet visited the stables. This guy is probably going to move to the west. Maybe take our gold mine. Let's go to the stables. Let's go over to this, and we would have to take on the trolls, but that should be fine. Take those on. Few losses expected, nothing too bad. I don't think we bothered doing anything about that. Take the 1,000 gold. And what else could we do? Not really too much else for him to do. I think we'll go check this out. And we'll start coming back. See what this is as well. Ballistics. Okay. Pretty tempted just to leave it there. There is a slight fear that this guy is going to be too tough for us. Perhaps in that case, we buy at least 1 more titan. So we'll trade 2 of each resource. Couple of these. Okay, 1 more titan, so 9 titans in total. We split these across. That's going to be a pretty good defense. Got chain lightning too. Good spells in general. Okay, I think we see how that goes. End the turn there. So green actually gets on the ship. I'm very surprised by that. This guy does manage to chase us down. Not sure why I thought I could avoid him, but we'll see if we can do some damage on our way out. So 19 spell points, 200 points of damage from the lightning bolt. That's enough to kill 2 Cyclopes, 5 War Trolls. I think it's got to be the War Trolls. Okay, hopefully he doesn't go for a mass damage spell, or we could lose Dimitri, but I'm willing to take the risk. Doesn't go for any spell so far. Next round begins, we go for this again. This guy starts moving across. Okay, wrong guy gets morale. I think we just stay put. And this guy stays put too. Okay, so we just about hang on. We can go for Magic Arrow, which does 80 points of damage. It kills one of these off. At this point, not enough gold to surrender. Let's just retreat. Not actually a bad trade. He leaves behind the Statesman's Quill, and orange starts going back. Lots going on, hard to keep up with. No idea why this guy's coming towards us. This is definitely in our favor. We'll certainly take him on. Hopefully avoid the losses. 4 black dragons could be tough. Not too much we can do. So Bless does help us do a bit more damage, but max of 1 kill against those. Fire Blast for 200 points of damage mostly doesn't help us. Sprites, I think, do need to be dealt with. Could also go for a blind. Elemental Storm will be really good at some point, but only after some of these stacks die off. No need to rush into that. Lightning Bolt, 750 points of damage. Kills off the Phoenixes, but they of course are immune. 200 points of damage, kill off 2 Phoenixes. Okay, because of the immunities, I think blind on this stack perhaps. Could go for it on the sprites. The sprites, though, are very easy to kill off, but we don't want to go near the dwarves. Yeah, I'm going to blind these, and I'm going to go for these. Okay, they go for slow on the Phoenixes. They do get luck on their attack, but we manage to take the hit pretty well. I'm going to send these forward as bait. They don't fall for it, so we do lose a Phoenix. These guys, I think, do go up and attack the black dragons. Take the hit pretty well. And let's move up. Okay, these next. One more kill if we go for this. Could kill off the sprites instead, but we should move first next round. So let's go for this. No we don't. Stand corrected. So a bit of nasty friendly fire, but no major losses except the champion stack finally does go down. Once and for all. 18 to 37 kills on this. These guys are slowed. Of course, they're slowed, which means they go after the Phoenixes of the opponent. I forgot about that. So these guys move next, but they're cursed. Dragons have already moved. I think we go for this. Check our hit points, which appear to be fine. 28 kills if we go for this attack, then the rocks move. Rocks can kill one of those off. If we go for Bless, how much difference does that make? Need to do 395 points of damage. Can't quite do it, but the Phoenixes would finish them off. I think we lightning bolt these. Okay, so champions go down 1 Phoenix. That's on balance, not too bad. Okay, so this guy appears to be relatively safe. We could actually start probing to the south. We need to remind ourselves what happened here. So this guy is certainly less of a threat now. Making 21,000 gold per turn, which is not bad but not great. If we move this guy up, we can pick up 1 dragon, 3,500. Don't think that's a priority for us. Gonna go to this, pick up the halflings, move towards Caraxton, and we have got Jezebel there too. Do we take the town first? I think we do. It kind of depends how many movement points we have. Let's try and find out. So do we have enough to get in the town? That's important. I can't really tell. I think we might just about. So several liches could be a problem. We do have decent spellcasting. I think we go for this. Victory is expected. If we can steal some units from the town, we should be fine. So 125 points of damage. These guys have... That is actually perfect. So we kill those off. These rush forward. Okay, losing lots of halflings, but that's not too bad. Go for the skeletons. Let's just go forward. Okay, Lightning Bolt doesn't quite kill these off, but we send these down for the attack. Finish them off. These go down for these. A few more losses to the towers. Move these forward. 6 skeletons lost. Should probably be a bit more careful because of course we do have another fight probably coming up. I'm not sure we will have extra units we can take. Let's find out. So 44 losses to the halflings. We can get into the town, and we could actually go for the laboratory. Guess there's 1 bone dragon. It's not great. With Dimitri, of course, we could bring him back. Other options. Everything has been taken. Could go for the storm, perhaps, but that's so expensive. It's almost never worth it. Laboratory, I think, is a bit overpriced. I think we come back to this. Okay, so people we do want to move. We do want to move Wyatch. Let's pick up the rest of our units. Let's probably pick up some skeletons. Let's start moving south. We'll go to the Tree of Knowledge. 10 gems. 15,000 XP. I'm going to say yes. And go for the estates. And go for this next. Xanadu just there, really tempting to go for it, but Baroque is right there, has a throng of peasants. Perfect choice of victim. Let's keep going aggressive. Okay, this guy next. Do we pick up some extra units? So we could pick up the phoenixes, we could actually pass those across. So I think we buy those either way. And outside of that, we do have a stack of unicorns. Let's go for some more of those. We'll leave it there for now. And start moving south. This could go wrong, but I think it makes sense to try and scout. Okay, so that leaves this guy who can come around to help if he wants to. If we have another look over in this direction. Armada base is pretty weak. Ice Creamer, potentially a bit of a threat. Deep's not too bad. Savan is weaker than Dimitri. I think we pick up Dimitri. He, I don't think, does have expert wisdom. Yeah, basic wisdom. So if we go for the upgraded Mage Guild, it's maybe not a priority. Several trolls there. This might be the wrong place to pick this guy up, but I guess he could help out. Okay, let's just take the faster unit and make a few of these as well. Make sure we're fast, and this guy is just going to be a bit of a scout. We'll keep him as an option as well. Okay, so we're going to go and claim the sulfur mine, and we're going to... Could make ourselves stronger. Lots of cavalries there, maybe could take that on. If we start moving south, we can help out against green. But I think we stay around in this zone. Ready ourselves to go aggressive. That seems the best option. Okay, so this guy next. I feel like his red dragons are not really a priority. Yokozun could come to attack us, but we should be able to scare him off. Maybe just grab some nomads. I'm gonna go for this. It's at least something to do. I should have probably taken some units and gone aggressive against Craig Hack, although he is actually pretty tough. So maybe we do go for the dragons. Okay, so that leaves us with 10,000 gold left to spend. If we go back to this town, we can pick up 2 more titans. Not quite, but if we do some trading, it'll be fine. So 2 more titans. 11 titans in total. If we go south, we do not have great pathfinding, but we could upgrade it. Already been to Tree of Knowledge, already been to this stuff. If we go to the west instead, could start taking his towns. Does make it harder to defend this one, but that feels like the right choice. Don't want to fight these because I think we want to hang on to our sprites as fodder. Let's go straight west. Yeah, if we have to come back to defend, that's fine. Okay, so that's all of our gold spent. We could probably do some trading and build some buildings, but I'm just going to see how things go. So green does emerge with an extra hero, red tries to run past us, yellow going a bit more defensive, orange going a bit more aggressive. Doesn't choose to attack us there. This guy is actually going west in this direction. We can probably still hold him off. Let's see what this is. Several black dragons, it's Rialdo. Could try and rush past him. This guy's not quite as fast as he was, but what can we pick up? This town, of course, has been reclaimed, so let's take it back. 4 phoenixes available. That wasn't expected, but we'll definitely take it. We got Resurrect as well. And I think, because this is our best hero, we should do some trading. Get that Mage Guild. Okay, Mage Guild level 5, let's see what we get. Hypnotize. Okay, bit underwhelming, but never mind. Let's start moving in this direction. Do we pass the phoenixes straight across, or do we assume we're strong enough? I think we pass the phoenixes across. Several black dragons is always a bit scary. Could take these, but they drop our morale a bit too much, so I think we don't. Rest of this stuff, probably fine. Yep. I think we'll go to the east instead. Or could go for this. Okay, we'll stay around, be defensive. This guy is... he seems beatable. Let's make sure. So we're gonna go for Identify Hero. Let's have a look. This somehow feels like a trap, but I do want to try it. If we go for it with this guy instead, he can't reach. He could pass across some artifacts, if that helps. Or we go back to defend against Jezebel. If we use Zom, it's going to come down to the spell casting. We would ideally have more units. It's still tempting to try. So let's have a think about this. 55 spell points, 4 spell power. Combat stats, significantly better than ours. Spell casting, worse in terms of number of spells, but I'm not sure our stacks hold out that long. Our actual spell options, 125 points of damage from that lightning bolt. Does that kill a stack each time? it does. I think we'll try this. It could go wrong. But it shouldn't be fatal if it does. Okay, loss is expected. So we get the first move. We do have Resurrect, but I don't remember if we have any non-undead units. Death Wave. We do of course have the halflings, I guess, but kind of depend on this for the damage. Gonna go for these. They do survive. These I think rush forward. See what spell she goes for, so does a good amount to those, but they do survive. Do we try to recover? Or just stay back? I think we stay back. Depend on our spell casting. These will rush forward though. They go defensive. Okay, so next round begins. Fireball, 50 points of damage to those 3 stacks. If we go for this instead, 125 points of damage. Slightly less. It's hard to turn down Fireball in this situation, let's just go for it. Do finish off the Liches. I think we go for this stack next. Okay, they kill those off. I think our spellcasting should still win this for us. I'm gonna kill this stack off too. Okay, this stack next, 8 of these. These guys have 4 hit points on the second stack, so I think we try to protect those, but don't want to stand too close. We go down to attack these 2 stacks. They shouldn't be able to reach us. I think we attack from this side. Okay, so that stack does go down, that kind of sucks. Let's go for Fireball on these 2 stacks. These go in for the attack. Do very little damage. Weaken these some more. Yep, so we definitely win this, but most of our stacks are pretty much out. But that's fine. So 10 hit points left. Still get to move with a few stacks. Let's go for Magic Arrow. Finish them off. Take a few extra skeletons, and that is one more threat dealt with. Okay, gonna go back to Wyatch, and gonna make sure we wipe out Crodo. And then we do have Astra just there, who's a bit tougher in terms of units. Actually, she's not. She's pretty bad. She's also near the Xanadu, so that decision makes itself. Gonna go for this. Quite a few losses are expected, so I'm guessing this is a pretty good spellcaster. We do, of course, have this option open to us, and in a fight this strong, I think it makes sense to go for it one time. Did just give them a very easy target there, but never mind. Vampire Lords do 9 damage. I'm not sure where the losses came from. Still got the Bone Dragons to go. They go for those, that's fine. Do we go for this? I think we do. Okay, I see. So quite a few losses to the skeletons, that's fine. Main thing is, Titans do survive completely fine. This hero could cast some spells, but probably nothing too bad. Make sure we go for the hero before the Xanadu. No losses expected, just gonna say yes to this. And we'll move towards Xanadu next. Okay, so this hero next, UAC has actually moved into range, so that is pretty much perfect. This isn't necessarily an easy fight, but feeling fairly confident. Got really good spell options, let's go for it. So, loss expected. I would have thought 11 Titans should win this for us. I think we go for the Chain Lightning. Meteor Shower, 325 points of damage. Could be good as well, but I think we go for these first. 4 kills on this, 6 to 9 on this. I think we start weakening these. Okay, they go for the curse, kill off the sprites, that's completely fine. These go for a bit of a block. Let's just check these can reach us. So 5 speed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't actually reach us. Let's keep the Ogre Lords in place. F-Heroes 2, slightly smarter AI, does move slightly closer. Original game they would have stayed in place, but never mind. These I think go for the block on the War Trolls. Next round begins. Do we go for Chain Lightning? Perhaps. How much space can we cover with this? Not enough. Armageddon always tempting, but let's not. Could go for Blind as well. Don't think that helps us that much. I'm gonna go for this. Do kill off my own stack, but that's fine. Let's go for these next, the bigger threat. Goes for haste on those. They rush forward. These can't reach us. These go for the block. Question is, do these move before us? They don't. So 6 speed against 6 speed. Meteor Shower, 325 points of damage. Lightning Bolt, 325 on its own. Could also blind them. So 325 is going to do a decent amount of kills, but not too much. Blind arguably makes more sense, but I'm pretty sure he just cures. So for that reason, I think we go for this. Then we kill 6 more off. Do take our first loss, then our second. They're down to 17. So do we go for Lightning Bolt, Steel Skin? Cure doesn't help us. Don't know if we have anti-magic. Doesn't look like we do. We go for Bless. Would help a bit. But this might help more. I think we go for Bless. So that takes us, well, it doesn't really make too much difference. Perhaps lures them into going for Curse again, which does work. We take a bit of damage from all of that stuff, but still holding out okay. I think we go for Cure next. Gives us quite a lot of hit points back. Kill these off. They go for the Cold Ray and they flee. So UAC is down, although not completely out. Can go for Night Shadow too. This should be fine. Hopefully won't take a loss. No losses expected, just going to accept this in the interest of time. And I think because Zom's not too strong, we just bring him back in this direction. Maybe go down in this direction, see what this leads to. Okay, so decisions still to be made about Ice Creamer. I think we probably do go for him, but let's pass across some of these artifacts. So Golden Bow, Helmet, Clover, and I'm gonna split these just in case it does make a difference to our income. I'm not really sure if these stack on the same hero or not. Bring these together, move them across. Yeah, I'm not sure we have enough, but it's worth a go. Yeah, it looks very similar to Darth Vader, but he's not. He's much weaker. Good spellcaster, not great stats. Probably a better force. See what we can do. A loss is expected. This is one of our starting heroes, so I'm hoping he can do pretty well. 125 points of damage with that. Blind doesn't work on undead. Quite a few threats. So the first to move will be the Power Liches. Biggest threat is probably the Bone Dragons. gonna weaken those. Okay, so yep, as expected, the spellcasting is the big danger. I'll keep my options open with these. Okay, they're gonna go defensive, that's fine. Okay, very tempting to go for this. We would get hit by the skeletons if we go up in this direction instead. It's probably a bit safer. Really surprised these didn't move, is that correct? They skipped their turn. I'm surprised by that, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so next round begins. It's lightning bolt once again. And let's go for these. Yeah, there shouldn't be a loss here. Okay, this time around they do go aggressive. They don't quite kill us off. This, I think, is in our favor. But only just. Still probably worth doing. Let's just make sure these can't reach us. So 4 speed, 1, 2, 3, 4, they can reach us. If we move across to attack, they can still reach us. I think we just kill these off instead, just because they haven't moved. Okay, so heavy losses. Hold around these. Oh crap. Okay, now I understand. This is really bad. So, what we should do in this situation is we should flee. And, well, we do have enough gold. Yeah, we flee, and he's gonna disappear before we do. Still, that kind of sucks. But, we bring our guy back, and we can maybe attack Armada base very soon in the future. Okay, do we bring him back here, or do we bring him back somewhere else instead? He does have some Necromancer units. We could maybe use him to help defend around this area, but that's a bit of a remote concern. I think we bring him back here. Let's delay the decision. The Craghack is still around, but I think we go this way. We will pick up the dragon, because hopefully Pandora can take on all of Yellow's stuff on her own. Which means this guy just needs to be tougher to defend against Purple. Dimitri doesn't have too much to do. He is the superior hero, so perhaps we bring him back in this direction. If we go up here instead, not actually that much safer. Should be able to take on several trolls. I think we just start consolidating. This guy is going to go southwest, and we're going to end the turn there. Although before we do, we should probably spend a bit more. So this town is no longer threatened. Towns that actually are threatened. This one isn't, but could think about picking up some units. So 5 Crusaders, for example. Is that worth doing? They're very good against the undead, which is not too relevant. Could pick up a Mage Guild, get our spell points back. But already moved. Can't move any further this turn. If we get Savan back, yeah, I don't think it's the right place. So maybe the Crusaders. It's not really a priority space. I think we're best off spending our gold around here. So there's not too much to pick up in this town. Perhaps what does make sense is if we pick up our other hero here instead, go to the well. Not really too much here either, but 36 Royal Mummies is not bad. I'm gonna pick him up here. And we're just gonna spend our gold on getting some of that stuff. Vampire Lords, 5 of those, still worth doing. 13 of these. That I think is the best thing we can do. He can't really move too far. His fastest units are gonna be the Power Liches. So let's move the rest up. And the turn there. Okay, so annoyingly he does chase us down. I can't act too surprised by that, but that does kind of suck. Grand Elves don't do too much damage. Spellcasting options. We are actually a very good spellcaster, which isn't going to help us against the Black Dragons, but will help us with the rest. I think we start by weakening these. So these are 6 speed, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we move up to here, we should be okay. They get defensive. Okay, that does stop us attacking with the Bone Dragons. Okay. We don't actually mind that too much, because most of our damage is going to come from spells. So if we have to skip our turn, that's fine. These move 2 spaces. If we go for this, we, I think, probably don't quite kill them off, based on that damage range. I'll risk it. Yep, so we don't quite kill them off. Those things do a lot of damage to us. We have moved into range of the Minotaurs, which does cause us some problems. They go super aggressive against us. We seem to have much better stats. I can really tell that. Okay, so spell options. These can't quite reach. Maybe we start focusing down the dragons. Steel Skin could also be pretty good, but maybe not on this stack. I think it's the Hydras we have to be careful of. How are these doing? 9 hit points left, it's not looking too good. 50 hit points back. That still feels like it might be a good option. Or Steel Skin. I will Steel Skin. And I'll resist the attack. Okay, let's go for this next. We'll take a loss. These come forward, weaken them some more. They get their move, they go for that. We do manage to tank the hits pretty well. Let's go for Steel Skin on these next. Does that make sense? We do have 17 defense. So perhaps I might regret this. Okay, so we get our first kill. If we go for this, we get a second kill. No, we don't. We've not had our first kill yet. Yeah, I don't think we win this. I could perhaps surrender. It's not too expensive. We could pick up the Bone Dragon from someone else, but I feel like we don't need to do that. Lightning Bolt this stack. Keep going for these. These can't reach us. These have already moved. So yeah, keep focusing on these. Next round begins. At this point, we could slow these, which would help us a bit. Yeah, we don't want these getting involved, but in terms of pure might, we're not actually better, regardless. Just gonna do some damage, I think. Okay, so if we move away, the Hydras won't be able to attack us, but we don't really gain too much, although 8 hit points left. Is it worth just doing some damage? 27 to 49 damage is not bad. Go for these instead. They kill us off, 3 to 6 kills, not really too much. We go to a corner. He's not cast any spells yet, so I'm curious why. Might be an argument for just keeping these in reserve. Then, do we go for this? 11 unicorns with steel skin, much better stats. I will try it. Yeah, so he only kills off 2 nomads. Then we go for this. Okay, so Black Dragon's still hanging on. Unicorn's doing a pretty good job. These guys can't reach us. These, I think, pull back, although not too far, because we don't want to get double attacked. Could move these in as a block. It would kind of work. That's probably the best thing we can do, because it's either that we block with the nomads, who I think can reach, but this seems like the best middle ground option, although we don't want these to reach us. Yep, they can actually reach us regardless of where we go, so skip the turn. Next round begins. 25 spell points left to go. Do we go for this? 16 kills on those. Hydras being next to these is definitely a problem. We zap the Hydras. So 250 points of damage, that is going to kill 3. Not too much. I think we bolt these. And absorb the retail, I guess. They will be able to double attack, but I think we just accept that. Draw out the retaliation. Those actually miss their turn, so that's great. They go for that double attack, and we miss our turn with the unicorns. That's not so great. These are free to attack. Might take a loss, but let's just do it. Next round begins. I think we kill these off. Draw out the retaliation. They kill those off. And hopefully our unicorns can just about win this. 11 spell points left to go, not really too much. Okay, so they're down to 1, we've taken quite a few losses. Is there much we could do to beat the Hydras? If we had more spell points, I think we could very well win this, but that is not the case. 2 to 5 kills on these. We go down to 9. Stone Skin. I think Stone Skin and Steel Skin would stack, but does that really help us? Haste doesn't really help us. Bloodlust would last a really long time, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Go for this. At least do have the chance to blind. Doesn't really work for us. Do you manage to get the blind second time round? Down to 9 of these left. And go for another spell. Cure, I think, is not worth it for 21 hit points. I'm gonna see if Stone Skin does stack. Let's have a look. So 31 defense skill. Go for Stone Skin. 29. Oh crap, it overwrites it. Okay, so that actually did more harm than good. I could have done without that. Okay, this is a worrying situation, and at that moment he does start casting spells. He has 133 hit points left on these. We can still go for Magic Area to kill something off. Let's take one of these. Don't have enough gold to flee. We could actually hang on slightly longer, although they did cast a spell last round. So it depends. If they go for that, we could lose this hero. We should probably be a bit more careful. 10 spell power is not bad. Still can't afford to surrender. Let's just retreat. I'm fairly pleased with that. Didn't expect to win that anyway. Okay, so now we obviously go and finish this guy off, and it should be very straightforward. I'll see if I can prevent the losses. Probably not. Do we have chain lightning? We don't. Perhaps we blind these. 8 to 17 kills is not bad though. We just bless or something. Or lightning bolt. Okay, so that explains the losses. That's fine. Let's finally begin to explore new lands. One step at a time. And we can see this is the Warlock player. And now that we have made it into the Warlock's lands, I think we're in a good place to close this chapter. So thanks for watching, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you are watching in real time, it's probably going to be quite slow for uploads over the Christmas period, but hopefully going into the new year, I will be able to really kind of pick things up again. Thanks as always for your patience, and yeah, like I said, I'm going to try and pick this up a bit more soon. See you next time.